Hey folks, right, let me open up Spotify for my stream playlist. There we are. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. Oh. Okay, right, that should be everything at the ready. Late start today. I've been out all afternoon. Still sort of, I got some commitments over the next few weeks. As a general heads up, there will be no stream next Friday. I'm actually gonna sort that out. I'm gonna mark that down on my schedule right now because otherwise I will forget. There is no stream next week because I had already started oh, it's September. Cool. Okay, I forgot that was a thing. I have There we go. Not today's stream. Fuck, I actually have to do this later on. But yeah, I've started a bi-weekly Friday game that will obviously be starting at like 6:30, so there's no point in me streaming on a Friday evening. During those times, so these Friday streams will start being bi-weekly. However, I do want to start doing more sort of intermittent during the week streams just to, frankly, to get me to fucking work. I've been like super low productivity the past like few weeks just for a lot of reasons really. And it's annoying me, so I want to not be doing that. And streaming does force me to get work done. I worked wonders when I wrote Angela's Mortal Manual. I wrote the whole book in a summer. Less than a summer, I think, courtesy of the stream. Right, so yesterday we started on the Clockworks. We've got the Clockwork Tiny Terror, which I absolutely love. I think this thing is great. And I also sort of pretty last minute threw together this Clockwork Brass Butler, which I think is kind of neat. Ugh. This is new. No, it isn't. No, it's from the April album. It's just not come through yet. This playlist is 12 hours long now. It has 300 tracks on it, so... Or 345 tracks. Yeah, I'm hoping to get out Golem towards the end of this month, or later on this month anyway. I know it's... because basically what I need to do is like finish up the design, which I am nearly finished with, like very nearly finished with. And after that, I need to write all of the flavor text for all of the monsters, which is going to take time. Which I will also probably not be doing on stream, simply because it's like when I was writing Angela's, it was a bit more dynamic because I was sort of coming up with things on the fly, and whereas this is just like I know exactly what I need to write. I just need to come up with a way of wording it, and that shit's not interesting to watch. Like even remotely interesting to watch, so I'm not going to be streaming it. However, I do also, because this is sort of like a follow-on to my book Beast that I released in June. Beast has it was something I added very last minute, because I realized I was like, this book just has beasts in it, and that's it. So I ended up writing a section on running beasts in combat, which I won't need to do for the constructs, because you run constructs in combat exactly how you think you would. And a section on a new downtime activity for taming beasts, which I thought was cool. And it was cool. I really like those rules. I really like the Xanathar's downtime activities. I think they're really well designed. Some of them I'm not super big on, but I don't think there's any of them that I on principle really like them, like as a whole, I just really like them. Yeah, I want to make some rules, basically. I'm not sure, it's probably going to involve like building constructs with something that doesn't involve the manual of golems, because the golem manuals suck. Like, Like, let me look at like the simplest manual of like the manual of flesh golems is very rare. You must be at least a 10th level spellcaster. To create a flesh golem, you'll spend 60 days working without interruption with the manual at hand and resting no more than 8 hours per day. You must also pay 50,000 gold pieces to purchase supplies. Once you finish creating the golem, the book is consumed in eldritch flames. So this is a very rare magic item, for starters. So it's you know, it's... So let me look at, like, buying a magic item. So the price is... So it's a very rare item, is 1d4 plus 1 times 10,000 gold pieces, halved because it's consumed. So you're paying, on average, right? On average, 65,000 gold pieces for a flesh golem, which is a very mediocre CR5 creature. Like, that is not commensurate, like, at all. The manual of golems sucks. It fucking sucks. They could be, like, honestly, all of them could be, like, 2 rarities lower, at the very least. Because most of, especially in base, the only golem that's, like, remotely really scary is, like, the iron golem, and I guess to a lesser extent, the clay golem, mostly because it, like... No, the clay golem fucking sucks as well. Like, it reduces your hit point maximum, but, like, who cares? Yeah, I think the ways you make golems in 5e suck. I think that they're stupid, and they're basically just, like, they're almost like they're a punishment for, like, wanting to make cool golems. Is that the game basically just turns and tells you to fuck off, because go fuck yourself for wanting to do something cool. And that annoys me for fairly obvious reasons. So yeah, I'm gonna start. I want to finish up the Clockworks. I talking yesterday. I want to do like a CR2 Clockwork and then probably end it, like, you know, finish it there. Because I'm thinking, like, you know, it's probably gonna come in. You know, I want to put the name in the middle between these two and put this one on a page of its own. Let me grab jump to location in editor. Let me do this real quick and put the Tiny Terrors on their own page, because I'm at a point now where I really need to start thinking about layout. How do the Tiny Terrors don't fit in here super well, which is frustrating. Yeah, so I guess it'll have to go long ways here, and then we can get the art sort of in down here maybe, and then like on this page we can have like flavor text that comes down to like here, and then we can have another stat block that fills up this spot here, and we can have art, you know, here maybe. I'll find a way to sort of sort this out and make it sort of overflow. I might give these things like a superfluous extra like fluff ability or something just to get that to overflow right. This is the kind of thing where I'm like, man, layouting books sucks. It's like, I love working in CSS, I love working in Markdown, I think it's really fun, but like, and I love futzing with this. This is like the kind of like obsessive fiddling I can do, and it be super exact and perfect, and I can get it to look as great as I want. And it's also really not that complicated programming-wise, like, at all. There is some more advanced CSS that goes into this whole layout, but even then, it's really not that much. It's on the whole, it's like pretty simple. I did learn how to do like proper contents pages with like ID matches and stuff, and it exports to PDF perfectly. Beast is like the most like accessible book I've ever done just because of that. I still can't put in bookmarks in PDF readers though, so guess I'll get fucked, right? I accidentally put 3 sweeteners instead of 2. in this coffee, and it tastes amazing. But I can't be doing that. I should not be doing that. That's bad. Because I will die. I won't die, but I think you catch my meaning. It's not good for me. Right, Clockwork from Murdy Cuddies. Murdy Cuddies Multiverse. The Murdyverse? Oh, I can call it Murdyverse. Oh, I love that. Yes, there's Murdy Cuddies, which is Mordenkainen's, and then there's Murdyverse, which is Monsters of the Multiverse. Okay, right. I have a way to distinguish between the two, but, like, I really hate the Monsters of the Multiverse. It's called Mordenkainen Presents. Like, no, we already have Murdy Cuddies. Like, we can't have two Murdy, but now we have Murdy Cuddies and Murdyverse. That's good. This is a good name. I'm very happy about that. I've had too much sugar. Jesus. I am super manic. Holy shit. Right, we'll calm the fuck down. So, all of the Clockworks, for the most part, are defensive. The Scout is a Scout. The Cobra is protects sort of various things. It protects whatever it's told to do. The Oaken Bolter, it's a ballista on wheels that is alive, and the Stone Defender is a funny guy that hits you. He makes a slam attack and knocks you prone. So the Clockwork Butler is just sort of like, this is like a general purpose gnomish contraption. Also, it's sort of, you know, we go, the flavor text can be like, it's the progenitor to the auto-gnome. Once a gnomish society has perfected the brass butler, it's not long before auto-gnomes become, before someone, some gnome in the multiverse will invent auto-gnomes for that particular crystal sphere or whatever. Auto-gnomes are very dumb, but I like them, like, on... I hate dogs. I hate them so much. Hate. Yeah, I kind of like the auto-gnome art, but they're so dumb. So fucking stupid. Right. What are the defensive measures might a gnomish society develop for themselves? Now let's look at siege weaponry. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Okay, right. Okay. I'm looking. I want to do alliteration here. 'Cause I like alliteration. Oh, Clockwork Razor RAM. Well, I like this. I like this. Right. It's a medium construct. It's unaligned. So, it's a battering ram, but it's also a ram, like an actual sheep. It's a robot sheep, but like it barrels towards things and punches through solid material. That seems cool. I need to make it be able to do something actually interesting, though. Right, let me get giant goat. It's a large beast. This thing is like small and, well, it's like medium-sized and compact. Plus, gnomes can ride it, and that's cool. So we're doing that. We're doing it. We're doing it, gamers. Right, so this thing is going to have 16 strength. We'll say probably 11 dexterity. We're going to say 16 constitution. This thing's going to be CR2, which I believe is 450 experience. How well do I know this game? I do very well. It needs to have comparable intelligence to the Tiny Terrors, if not less. I think all the Clockworks have the same in, like, mental stats. Yes. So, constructed nature, magic resistance. Now, something they have actually done is, with things like, certain demons that have like ram abilities. I need to go find one. Is there a way to filter this? I just basically scroll through and find. Does the Armonite maybe have it? No. There is very specifically like a monster that has the charge ability because they've sort of folded a charge into the attack that it affects. There are very specific monsters that have this change, and I could not tell you for a second what they are. It might be one of the dinosaurs? That's a possibility. It's very possibly one of the dinosaurs. The Quetzalcoatlus has something very close, and that'll be what I default to if I can't find anything that actually has it. The Shusuva. No, it's more like a wolf thing. I need something with horns. Something with horns, something with horns. I'm really hungry. I'm probably going to take a break in a minute and get food. So I'm really fucking hungry. Narzagon? Where the fuck? There is very specifically a monster that has this ability, and I don't remember what it is. It's got to be like a demon or a devil or something, maybe. It must be, right? It's not maybe it's the Koreds? Maybe they have a charge? Do Grey Randers have it? No. Giralons? Probably not. No. Oh, the Deep Wrath. There we go. There we go. There's another monster that has, here, I can search cattle. Ox, Aurochs. Perfect. Okay. I'll just call it the Clockwork Raise Ram. Right, so I'm going to give this thing sure-footed. Beast of Burden, and then we're going to give it Siege Monster. Pretty sure that's how that's worded. Let me check the Tarask. Deals double damage to objects and structures, yeah. It's the kind of thing I don't put on monsters enough to instinctively remember what it is, but now that I've said that, I'm probably going to remember it until the day that I die. Let's make this thing AC 15. I'll sort of fiddle with hit points later. I'm not really fussed about that now. Right, so the Clockwork makes... It's a ram attack and a hooves attack. Right, ram. Plus 5 to hit. 2d6 plus 3s, that's 10 bludgeoning damage. +2 1d4 force damage. Let's look at the ox again real quick. The hooves probably shouldn't be the same damage as the ram. It should probably be like 2d4 for the hooves. That's 8 damage. It stops. I like this thing. It's a very high chance it's not CR2 though. I guess if it ends up being CR3, that's fine, but it is pretty scary. It does need health as well. That's the thing. I'm probably gonna take a break after this though, because I guess this is normally when I would take my break. I'm just very hungry. Right, damage per round. How much damage does this thing actually do? It's 8. It does like 8. Yeah, it does like 18 damage. It does have the capacity to do a lot more with Arcane Charge. Let's go 18 plus 18 plus... Let's say it can hit 2 people with Arcane Charge. That's 22 DPR. Attack bonuses plus 5. AC 15. Has offensive CR of 3. It has sure-footed, which is like irrelevant. I need to give it a respectable number of hit points. Probably just change it to CR3. I think that's probably better. Clockwork raise ram. No. Battering ram. Obviously. What the fuck am I doing? Clockwork battering ram. It batters you and is a ram, and also is a ram. It's 2 kinds of rams simultaneously. That sounds like real gnome shit. Hell yeah. It's based as hell. Let's fucking do that. That's sick. Right, we need a good amount of hit points. I'm thinking I'm just gonna go like 8d8. That's 3 8s is 24. 60 hit points. How's that? How's that for? So okay. No, we need more. More. There we go. Let's go 11 maybe. How many hit points does like the Oaken Bolter have? I guess 117. The Stone Defender has 105, and the Iron Cobra has 91. $90. I've not heard of this, no. 12 times 3 12s is 36. I don't like this overhang. That's really annoying. I might have to change. I might have to very specifically change the kerning on this to get it to fit, because it should just fit, and it just doesn't. Let me see if I can do a span here. That's really weird when it does shit like that. Span. Style. Text spacing? 1? No. Not line spacing. Kerning, maybe? Hang on. I'm going to look up how you change kerning. Change kerning CSS. Letter spacing, of course. Oh, we need to do pixels, of course. I don't think I can have, maybe I can have -1? Oh, I can. See what I can get away with. Well, I might be able to have, that does it. I love me some CSS. I didn't expect margin left to just work, but it did, and that's good. That should do it. That'll do fine. So this will need templating, but that's okay. I'll sort of go over this with Joe at some point. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break here because I want to go. I say quick. I'm gonna be like 15 minutes because I want to eat food. I will be back once I'm done. We're gonna carry on. I think that's if I come up with more Clockworks, then you bet I'm gonna make them. But I think this is like a perfectly respectable number, given that there are 4, and we've almost doubled the number of Clockworks there are in the game simply by doing what we've done here today. So, oh, these need to be changed around because it's a battering ram. Okay, that's that might help the spacing. It might also hurt it somewhat. I'm not sure. Oh, we could do this. Oh shit! Whoops. Oh. Yeah, because that gives us a little more leeway with how much room we want to use, so that's good. And I can definitely margin this and or something. I can do something here and sort of clean that up a little bit. So yeah, I like the battering ram. I think it's really funny. So yeah, what is next on my list of stuff? So there's the Iron Angel, new Shardlin monsters, a Metal Hand monster, a Mechanical Dragon, and the Oblivion thing. That's a whole thing. I'll get to that. But yeah, I'm gonna take my break here. I'll be back in about 15 minutes. See you guys in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Let me remove these two creatures from my... Right. So, what do I want to look at next? Let's look at the Iron Angel. Okay, I found my reference. Iron Angels. Waiting for it to actually load. Iron Angel. Medium construct. Neutral evil. Let's go 18 con. Let's go 7 charisma on wisdom and probably 10 intelligence. We'll go 12 intelligence. And strength, I'm thinking like 16 strength. Not super strong by any means, but, you know, not strong either. Senses. Damage immunities, poison. Let me look at all the conditions. I can probably be charmed. Exhaustion. Frightened, poisoned. Petrified. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking CR6. Oh wait, no, I'm putting it completely the wrong place. 6. Right, let's give this thing Dex plus 3, Con plus 7, Wiz plus 3. Maybe not Wisdom, let's give them... You know what? Wiz, Charisma plus 1. So the Iron Angel is like a rusty kind of like it's like a fucked up angel is basically what this thing is. Damage types. Let's give them resistance to acid. Actually, no, they're immune to acid. They're like rust creatures. They don't care about acid. They're immune to acid. They're resistant maybe to psychic? Cold, fire, lightning, psychic. So yeah, welcome in. Currently working on monsters. Right, so let's go 10 slashing damage plus exudes an aura of let me look at how this is worded on the bow deck. The bow deck doesn't have it worded the way I would want. Let me check the original. Descriptors? How so? Okay, I did spell. Yeah. DC 14 Constitution saving throw. Go DC 15, why not? Uh, 5e mostly just has different creatures, I think is the main thing. Some monsters have variants, but they're usually like 5e only uses them if they're like minor changes to like for instance, like there's vampires and then there's vampire warriors and vampire spellcasters, which are literally just vampires but with, you know, a couple bits and pieces tacked on. I have one in here actually for the flesh golem. There, so you got this new flesh golem and then a storm charged flesh golem, which has lightning abilities, or more overt lightning abilities anyway. "5e generally doesn't do it, presumably because most of the time, like, they just make different monsters if they want to represent different things, which has its ups and downs, I think. I personally prefer it, but I imagine there is upside to just doing variants instead. Certainly in a digital, like a digital only thing, then like kind of doesn't really make a difference, because you can just do it automatically, whereas variant monsters in 5e specifically require, like, you know, you can't just look at a stat block and like that's everything. You have to look at the stat block and then at the variant and then cross-reference them, which can be complicated, or can get complicated. So they don't do them very much. Dire isn't a template at all. There's just dire walls and that's it, in 5e anyway. Obviously older editions do have dire templates, but 5e just doesn't have them. They just make giant versions instead. I think the main thing of stuff like that is to make templates robust enough where you can use them for any monster. It massively increases the complexity of the game. Like, obviously, if you wanted to make a vitriolic variant of an Iron Golem, right, you could totally do that. But if you wanted to make vitriolic a thing that a tag or set of rules you can apply to any monster, then suddenly it becomes like a very, very complicated piece of design that you have to balance around every single monster you make, which is something is very easy to do in a digital experience because the DM, the DM in like an RPG or whatever is the computer. Like, it just does, computers do math. That's what they do. They're math machines. Therefore, all of the cross-referencing and stuff you would have to do to make those kinds of things work, you wouldn't have to do. I'm sure there is a way to make it work, but or let's make it work, because I think making it work would be quite easy, but make it work, make it interesting, and make it not a giant pain in the arse for DMs to use. It has to meet all three of those, and I'm sure it's possible to do, but I think I don't know how you could feasibly do all three of those things. Because it needs to be simple, but it also needs to be interesting, and it also needs to be easy to do, like to use. So, I don't know. There's probably a way to do it, though. Someone has done it, that's for sure. There'll be something on the guild or on drive-thru or something where someone has done it to probably dubious results, frankly. Yes, certainly if you're compounding multiple tags, then you're like, you would end up with some kind of nightmare experience for DMs. It would be cool if it was easy to use, but if it isn't easy to use, its cool factor is immediately lost, and then it becomes a giant pain in the ass. Which is much more important, really. Not being a nightmare to use. Ranged weapon attack, range. Let's go 30-90. One target, 1d4 plus 3, piercing damage. That's 5. So yeah, it does notably less. It does 8 instead of 13 damage at range. I guess this thing should do necrotic damage, given that it's like decay rather than anything else. Bandit Captain. This thing is fucking brutal. It gives you disadvantage to hit while also having AC 18 and a +3 parry that also works on ranged attacks too. This is crazy brutal. It's very cool though. It needs to have some more pizzazz, but I am here for what it's doing at the moment, regardless. Yeah, I mean, yeah. For if you're gonna stick it on a service like Roll20 or D&D Beyond or whatever, then it would be fine. But you can't build digital only mechanics for D&D. Like, you just can't do that. That's 100% something they would never do, because the whole point of D&D is you are, even if it is deeply suboptimal to do so, you are supposed to be able to play all editions of D&D with a stack of books and a piece of paper and nothing more. And you can in 5e. It's I speaking from experience of trying to do that. It's not fun. I wouldn't DM without a laptop, because it just makes things needlessly more difficult at no benefit. But it's an active detriment to my DMing and to my DMing experience. I think there is certainly, it's something that would slot well onto D&D Beyond, but or a similar service, because D&D Beyond is shit. It's fucking terrible. Now that WotC have bought it, they might make it not the biggest pile of shit in the world, but I doubt it. D&D Beyond fucking sucks. It's terrible. D&D Beyond is bad. This is my every time it's ever brought up reminder. D&D Beyond is fucking terrible and no one should be using it. WotC might fix it. They might. I hope. I say I hope. I don't care. I'm never going to use it, even if it is good. I say, well, I guess if their VTT is like really good, and they fix D&D Beyond to make it not a giant pile of shit, then maybe. But otherwise, nah. Ooh, you're enabling me. Okay, right. So, you're enabling my hatred for D&D Beyond. So I don't like D&D Beyond for a lot of reasons. But most prominently, it is the greatest way as a new player to ensure that you will never understand the game that you are playing. Ever. If you are at a table, let's say you have a DM and 5 players. I mean, any amount of players, but, for the sake of argument, let's say there's 5 players. 2 of those players have physical character sheets and nothing else. They pick up the books, they look through the books, when they need to find things that they don't have immediately written in front of them. If they need to look up a spell, they always have a book on hand. 2 of the players have some sort of digital, they have a physical character sheet, but they have like a digital index available to them to look up any spell or ability they need clarification on. Both of these are basically the same, but 2 of them are digital, so therefore they are more efficient, but everybody's still on the same page. Player 5 uses D&D Beyond, which on the surface is a character sheet and an index simultaneously, which seems just objectively better than both of those 2 things, and if it were anything other than D&D Beyond, you'd probably be right. The problem is D&D Beyond, if you're like a really experienced player, I mean really experienced, like you have played 5e for 7 years, you know the game in and out, then D&D Beyond, I'm sure, is fine. If you can gel with the interface, which I can't, I think it's shit. If you like the interface, then D&D Beyond, I'm sure, is a valuable experience for you to have as an experienced player, but it is marketed and suggested to people as a tool for new players. what D&D Beyond does is it basically fast tracks. I mean, you need 5th edition experience, right? Like, obviously, playing 2nd edition gives you experience playing the game, but it doesn't make you any better at 5th edition. Like, you see what I mean? You might have a game sense, and you'll pick up 5e faster because you've played so many editions of D&D. But the experience of specifically 5th edition is required for D&D Beyond to not be an active detriment to you. But D&D Beyond basically fast tracks character creation, and fun fact: the best way to teach new players is to sit down with them and make a character with them, because they will sit down and start asking questions. What the fuck is this? Why am I rolling these dice? What do all of these numbers mean? And you can explain that to them. If you have a proper one-to-one session with a new player when you sit down, as long as you yourself understand the game, they will have a positive, and you're not like the worst fucking teacher on the planet. Lots of people aren't great teachers, but teaching someone the very basics of D&D on a one-to-one sit-down during character creation is not hard. It's not easy. It's not something you can do effortlessly, but a tutorial session, I think it certainly helps. I don't think it's always necessary, but D&D Beyond basically just says, here are all of the races, here are all of the classes, pick them, and then the player goes, okay, and they just pick them. They just arbitrarily pick shit. Maybe they've had a sit down with a DM. Maybe they kind of, maybe they've played, an RPG or whatever. So they're like aware of most of the races. Some of the races are new to them, but I mean the races are fairly simple. Halflings are short. Gnomes are short and weird. Dragonborn are dragon dudes. Cool. I'll play one of those. Or tieflings. Oh, it's a devil guy. Oh, that's cool. The races are fine. Like, fast tracking the races are not a big deal. No one should have to feel noodly about, people pick, if you're a new player, pick whatever race you think is cool, right? Or whatever you want to play, fucking pick it, doesn't matter. None of them are complicated. But then you get to the classes. And even if, if you've played every Final Fantasy game or whatever, I don't know, it's a bad example. Final Fantasy doesn't really do classes that much. Either those are jobs or just characters that have skill trees, whatever. Well, some of the older ones, whatever, it doesn't matter. You understand my point. Even if you sort of understand the archetypical factors of there's a wizard, a sorcerer, and a warlock. I guess they're all different in some way. Like, the wizard is probably the straight-laced magic guy, the warlock looks spooky, and the sorcerer is the weird one, I guess. What's the bard, though? Oh, he plays the lute. Okay, fair enough. But they just pick a class based on flavor, which is fine if you are an experienced player. If you are a new player, if you're a brand new player, never played any edition of D&D, never played 5th edition, imagine handing someone a 5e druid. Imagine handing someone that's never played an RPG, never played a tabletop game, and just telling them to sit down and play a druid. Imagine how that's going to go, because the answer is badly. It's speaking from ample experience of seeing exactly that. The answer is badly. They're going to play like garbage because they don't understand how the game works. And then they go through D&D Beyond, they arbitrarily pick a bunch of crap. Maybe they read parts of the druid, say they pick druid for the sake of argument. They're like, oh, wisdom is the most important stat for druid. I'll make wisdom my highest stat. And they put in the numbers, and they put all their odds in the wrong place. They don't understand the racial bonuses because the interface is fucking horrible, and they end up with all odd numbers when they could have had all even numbers or something. I don't know. I don't think that's actually possible, but you understand my point. They fuck up their ability scores and have dog shit stats. They go into character creation. They just arbitrarily pick spells because they don't know how that works. They never realize they can prepare spells because, funnily enough, prepared casting is really fucking complicated for a new player to digest. Most people don't even know how it works. I don't think you need all of that necessarily, but doing all of those things can't hurt. I think it is the main thing. You need... 1 and 2, in my experience, combining them works wonders. Unless you're playing with someone who's super impatient, which frankly, if they're super impatient, you maybe shouldn't be playing with them. And you can bring them into, obviously, if like you need to do a session 0 if you're starting a new campaign, like you should be doing that anyway. And then bringing them into the game, because in my experience, new players are always like shoehorned into pre-existing campaigns, and it never ends well. Or when they are shoehorned in, mind you. But yeah, you have a player who has made a character, a D&D character for the first time in 15-20 minutes. Which, you know, when you're an experienced player, like, if I wanted to, I could sit down and make a character in 20 minutes. I wouldn't want to do it in 20 minutes, because, like, unless it's just like a one-shot and I'm just, like, picking something arbitrarily, or picking something that seems neat and then making up the character personality on the fly. Like, a new player should have a proper sit-down, hour and a half, 2 hour... Oh, right, okay. No, in that case, yes. Though, same, I would combine 1, 2, and 3 into a single 1 to 2 hour long sit-down with them. But, yeah, obviously if you split it up for whatever reason, then, yeah, that's fine too. I think it's easier to sort of, you know, bomb through all of it in sort of 2.5 hours and just, you know, let them kind of ask all the questions they want to ask, like all that kind of stuff. But a D&D Beyond player hasn't had any of that. They've spent 15 minutes making a character, and they show up at a table not knowing how to play the game, and they don't understand how any of their shit works. They've probably never even fucking read it, because again, the interface is fucking terrible. You've, like, the D&D Beyond interface, you basically have... Like, hang on, let me make sure I'm not mirroring, so I'm gesturing this wrong. So, left. Yes, okay, right. So, you have like this whole part of the screen. Basically, your screen is a rectangle, right? Only this bottom corner in the right here is where all of your character stuff goes. This here is your ability score improvements, your hit points and speed and stuff are up here. There's just all of this is stats. And you've got this tiny corner which has literally everything else in it. In 12,000 different tabs that are separated in the worst possible way. If you're playing a caster on D&D Beyond, if you click level 2 spells, it doesn't just show you your level 2 spells. It lists you your level 2 spells and all of your level 1 spells as if they were cast at level 2, which is not helpful. It is like information overloading people in this tiny little boxes. It's like the Windows 8 problem, right? Where you look at like the big panel start menu of Windows 8 and you feel like you're seeing too much, you're visually overloaded while also not seeing all the things you need to see. Like, if I hit the star menu on Windows 10, I'm not actually sure what's on my star menu, to be fair, but like, if I hit my star menu on Windows 10, it gives me a list of like stuff, it gives me all my options, and then it gives me my blocks of like other random crap, right? And I've set that up myself. I really like the Windows 10 star menu. I think it's fantastic. It's like my favourite thing about Windows 10 is the start menu and the search functions. It all actually fucking works. I like Windows 10. It's great. Still miss Windows 7 though. It's jank as fuck, but I miss widgets. I was like 7 or some shit when Windows 7 was around, which is pretty funny. No, I was probably like 8 or 9 actually. Yeah, I was like 8 or 9. But Windows 7 was fucking great. But it has the... Oh yeah, like D&D Beyond, you have this huge fuck off layout that shows you very little, and then you have this tiny box which has your actions, which is not helpful. It has your armor. It has it has your spells in several other smaller tabs. It has your inventory, which is crammed into this tiny box. Remember, like, the inventory where you have, like, you can have, like, 30, 40 items in your inventory at a time? Yeah, crammed into a tiny box. Yeah, like, go fuck yourself. You want to read that shit? No, get out of here. It's just, like, the interface is, like, its own problem, right? The interface, it looks pretty, but it's a fucking nightmare to navigate, and I hate it. that's personal. Like, some people, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who love the D&D Beyond desktop interface. They think it's the best thing in the world. And I'm not going to tell those people they're wrong, because they like it. They like the thing, therefore their reasonings for liking it don't need to exist, right? They like it, so they like it. That's fine. I hate it, but the what it does to new players is they come into the game not really having been told anything, because DMs don't ever handle D&D Beyond users well enough, and then when it comes down to it, they get to level ups and they arbitrarily pick random garbage because no one is that D&D Beyond just gives them all of the options and says pick one, and they just pick one because they don't understand what they're picking. They don't understand what's good, what's bad. There's no one there to tell them, like, oh, don't pick Crown of Madness, it's really, really terrible. Or, oh, you should pick this spell, it's really good. Or, like, you're looking for flavorful spells for your character. I recommend this, it's very good. And also very fun. Like, someone's like, oh, I will want to... You recommend them Bigby's Hand, or Nether's Mischief, or some shit, I don't know. Then there's all the paywall garbage, don't get me fucking started on that. I know new Wizards books are, to my knowledge, going to be printed with D&D Beyond codes in them, but I don't know if that's true. I can't remember, I don't know, I don't care. But, yeah, like, you bought Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, but you're a D&D Beyond user, so you actually have to buy it again, so you can get any of the content from it, so go fuck yourself, right? There are players in, like, I run a lot of games myself, with my friends, and I'm basically, like, I run it, but I also play at my local LGS, twice, every other week on a Sunday. And I've been playing at that LGS since before the pandemic. I think it was like September 2019 or so. I've been playing there a long time, and I've played with a lot of different people. All of the D&D Beyond users are always just worse players, because they just don't understand the game that they're playing. Or they have a much lower understanding of the game that they're playing. I had one person, their entire character sheet just broke mid-session, and they just couldn't roll anything because they didn't know what their stats were. I managed to wean one of the other players off of D&D Beyond, and he's using just a digital character sheet on his phone now. And it's so much better, because he's actually got the opportunity to read shit. Oh, I think it's the opposite. Like, D&D Beyond users have no mechanical grasp of the game whatsoever, because everything is just sort of hidden from them. All the sort of deeper aspects of the game are just sort of locked away behind not using D&D Beyond. It's like never taking the training wheels off your bike. Or no, that's a bad example, because training wheels are actually helpful. No, yeah, that's not. Training wheels are actually useful, but eventually you have to take them off. But that analogy doesn't work, because D&D Beyond is like learning to ride a penny farthing. I think is probably the best example. It's like learning to ride a penny farthing. It's not. You're technically riding the bicycle, but you can't ever ride a regular bicycle. You only know how to ride the penny farthing, and it's so much worse than just riding a bike. Like, why ride the giant, tall, idiot thing that you can fall off of and die on, when you can just buy a road bike, or a mountain bike, depending on where you are, I guess. Like... But yeah, if you have like a wargamer player who's like doesn't think RP exists, obviously that's not what they think. You know what I mean? Like, they don't RP at all. That's like a whole other thing. Like, different playstyles are just kind of a thing, and that's fine. Some people do not give a shit about the rules of the game, like, at all. Those are the kinds of people I don't really like playing with, because I think, but like, those two aspects of the game are like equally important to me. You need to have, for me to have fun in a game, the game needs to be mechanically rewarding, interesting, and fair, and also have interesting role-playing aspects. If your game is missing one of them, then I'm not having fun. Because, I want the opportunity to... Oh, clear my throat. I want the opportunity to, roleplay as a character and also to engage with the game that I like on a mechanical basis, because, as it turns out, playing the game that you're playing is rewarding and fun, and not playing it kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm gonna stop my rant there, mostly because I still have work I want to do. I want to finish this Angel. Right. I like this ability. This is obviously just a parry. These attacks are fine, but I want to see if there's anything else exciting I can do. Right. On a failure. Right now I want to be contagious corrosion. Let's make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw. $68. 68 is 3.57's 21, I think. It's 27. 27. Go 66, which is... Oh, it's because I was doing 3.5, not 4.5. This is 21. Bleeding this way, it loses... 3d6. What is 3d6? That's 10. Let me look at Horned Devils. That I like. I think that's cool. This thing is definitely not going to end up at CR6 though. Let's just up this preemptively. 2d8 is 9, so that's 12. Let's go. 1d10, let's go to 8. That's kind of interesting, yeah. I feel like the damage would probably be instantaneous. It would probably be like rolls a number of d6 equal to the combined level of both spells and loses that many hit points or something. You probably still should only be able to do it a couple times per day because it does completely circumvent like the one thing that keeps wizards in check. Emphasis on keeps wizards in check because it still mostly doesn't. Yeah, let's just take that out. It's whatever. Who cares? Right, let's CR check this thing. Expected CR. I'm expecting this thing to probably be like CR 8, but I don't know for sure. I haven't actually given it any. Let's go for parry. It's like 37, wow. It's not as high as I thought. Attack bonus is 6. Huh. Straight up doesn't actually do that much damage. Let's bump this. It's a surefire way to bump damage, that's for sure. So that's 19 and 15. This thing to have hit points. It has 18 con. What does have? And magic resistance, that's a thing. I went resistances. A lot of those. +10 plus 40, so that's 95 hit points, I believe. Yeah, 45. No, 85. Let's go 11d8. That was 97, was it? No, 93. And then... I mean, it would just be a bonus to use, right? That would... Yeah, you obviously shouldn't be able to change a spell out at any time. It would just be, like, as a bonus action or something. Especially given you're a wizard, and wizards don't really get that many bonus action spells to, like, fuck them over by using this. Right, let me check the damage again, because they have just been bumped significantly. So that's 19 plus 19 plus 7 plus 3 plus 30 plus 7 plus 3 plus 10 plus 21 plus 10 divided by 3 is, that's 43 damage. That's not actually as much as I thought. That does bring it up to CR 8, so maybe that's okay. Yeah, we can probably just stick that there. It being more defensively oriented, yeah, I guess it does have Aura of Decay as well, like the debuffs on Aura of Decay that aren't really represented, like, stat-wise, so yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, this thing is CR 8 now, yeah, I forgot to change that. It's 3, no, yeah, that would have been bad forgetting to change the CR. Now, these things are going to have some crazy lore. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be crazy. Um, they're gonna be like absolutely gnarly. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, I am going to stop here. I'm very happy with the Iron Angel. I think this thing is very cool. It has a lot of different things it can do. I'm quite happy with it. I am going to stop here though, because I didn't get as much done today as I wanted to, but that's mostly just I've been faffing around. That's fine. I went on another D&D Beyond rant, but who cares? I was enabled. It's fine. But yeah, the Dominaria United pre-release is tomorrow, so I'm going to be going to that. The DMU pre-release is tomorrow, so I'm going to be going to that. And I might, depending on how I feel when I get back, and also, more importantly, when I get back, because I don't know if we're doing 3 rounds of sealed, 4 rounds of sealed, or 5 rounds. I'm going to find out when I get there. I really fucking hope it's not 5. 4 is like on the cusp of too much magic for one day. 3 is like, so it's a great experience. 5, my first pre-release experience, Neon Dynasty, 5 rounds of sealed. Well, it was a sealed, and then I played 5 rounds with that deck, and good God, it was torture. It went on for 6.5 hours, and God, it was too much. Like, the games themselves were fine. It was just like 2 hours, 2.5 hours more magic than I would like to be playing in any given day, right? It was way too fucking much. But depending on when I get back and how I am when I get back, I may consider streaming again, because I am actually like legitimately very close to just being done with all the stats. I want to do Shardlin monsters, and I have a few individual monster designs I want to do, sort of in the vein of the Iron Angel, where it's just like one monster. So, and I may come up with some more ideas, like, you know, here and there, because I've got a lot of new monsters in this book, but you know, maybe I don't have as many as I'd like. That's probably not true, but maybe I don't. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna head off here. Hope folks enjoy themselves. I will potentially see people tomorrow. If not, I will definitely be streaming Monday. And I may also consider Sunday. I feel like I'm doing something Sunday, but I also know I'm not doing anything on Sunday. That's because I should. I would be going to my LGS game, but because the pre-release is on, they're not running it. So I might do something Sunday instead. I don't know. I will make a decision. I will tweet about it. And there'll be a Twitch ping. I don't actually know how it works when you get Twitch pings, like from like when people go live. I don't know. Either way, I'm out of here. See ya.